Welcome back to Saca las Velitas podcast. My name is Danny, and my pronouns are Brujo, Sancho, and Pimp.
No. My name is Erica Tinez. I'm just a girl.
Oh, man. How you guys been, man? I hope you guys been good.
Ooh, I'm sure you guys miss me.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for welcoming our awesome special guest last time. You guys were amazing and supportive.
Yeah, for those of you that missed it, we had a special guest on the last episode. And then Erica wasn't here. She was actually out of town that weekend. And then our brother Afiliado, he was busy that weekend. But yeah, shout out to our guest, Jeanette, for coming through last week. Today is actually Mother's Day.
It is.
While we're filming this, it's Mother's Day. But by the time we post it, it's probably going to be like a week later.
Yeah.
So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes.
Happy Mother's Day to Erika also.
I want to say happy Mother's Day to everybody that's celebrating without their mommies too.
Yeah.
So shout out to you guys for being super strong. I can't even imagine what you guys, are feeling right now. But happy Mother's Day to all the mommies.
Yes.
Out there.
Happy Mother's Day to all you ladies.
Shout out to you guys.
Yes. So let me see. So the first topic, should we start with this one or which one should we start with?
Let's start with this one since it's so popular right now.
Okay, yeah. Because I actually been wanting to talk about that one already.
Go ahead.
So the movie Sinners, have you seen it yet?
No.
Man, me neither. So I haven't seen it. Have you seen the previews though?
I have.
Okay, what do you think of it as far as the previews go?
It looks really good. I love the way that they're dressed. I want to point that out because not a lot of people are noticing that, but I love the get up, the dress. Mm-hmm. It has really like a lot of memes and like reels that are being popular in on my algorithm, so I need to go see it. But so far, it looks really entertaining.
Yes, it does. So my first thought on it, I haven't seen it either. My first thought on it was as soon as I found out vampires were in it, I immediately wanted to see it. Mm-hmm. Anything that has to do with vampires, I definitely want to see it, especially if it's something brand new that I haven't seen yet. However, this might be somewhat of a spoiler. We haven't seen it, so we don't know if it's a spoiler or not, right? But when I heard that, spoiler guys, that it takes a while for the vampires to show up, it kind of made me like, maybe I shouldn't go see it, But then I started seeing all the memes and all the reviews and everything. And I'm like, you know what? I definitely still want to see it. Even if the vampires take a long time to show up, I still want to go see it.
Right.
And I also, how you said, like, I do like the wardrobe and like the outfits and like just that style, how it takes you back. It's kind of like I think they call it like a period piece, where like it takes place at a certain period in time. So those outfits definitely are pretty tight. Yeah,
you know what it reminded me of a little bit of Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah.
Like exactly. That style of, if you guys haven't watched that series too on Netflix, watch it. Had nothing to do with that movie, but the way that they're dressed, it took me back to Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, definitely. We've talked about Peaky Blinders on here before. Hold on. See, that's how you can tell we're drinking beer today, because I'm gonna keep burping.
Yeah.
So we apologize ahead of time if I keep burping on here. It's usually just me, the one that burps. But yeah, we've talked about Peaky Blinders on here a lot because we're both huge fans of it.
Yeah.
But definitely, yeah, the way that they dress, because it took place like in the 1920s, 1930s. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely when like that era of like Peaky Blinders too, like the outfits.
Yeah.
Like the little paperboy hats and like the vest and the suit and tie. Me, myself, I actually like dressing like that. That's why I'm a huge fan of Peaky Blinders.
No, yeah, and for sure. I'm sure you guys seen his pictures online and stuff. He dresses like in that style, so
yeah.
Really relatable.
Yeah, for the most part, I'm usually just like in my gym clothes, but if it's the weekend and I'm actually going to go out, I'm going to definitely wear something like that. And it's crazy because I used to actually dress like that before Peaky Blinders came out.
Before we even watched it, yeah.
Yeah. But so what else do you think about the movie?
So I really like that it's getting good reviews. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing a lot of people that are saying, you're single if you haven't watched The Sinners. I don't know if you've seen those, but freaking, I get it. I can't go watch it because it obviously it looks like a little bit inappropriate for me to go with the kids or something. So I'm waiting, but dude, I feel like it's a good movie right now to watch, especially during it's about to be summer, so it's like just go enjoy that and like get a feel for that, and then go out and
Yeah, definitely. So me, So one thing that I noticed that a lot of the reviews are talking about is that it revolves a lot around music, and some of the reviews that I've seen, this might be a spoiler again, that they say that the music is somehow connected to like summoning demons and summoning spirits and summoning the vampires. So me doing the kind of business that I do, I could actually attest that music is used for rituals. Like I myself do use music for rituals sometimes. I'm actually we were talking about this the other day that I was actually kind of looking for a certain instrument that I might buy. I might have to go to Denials or I might have to go to Goat to get one of those. I was gonna order it on Amazon, but I rather just buy local.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah, definitely, I could for sure. I could attest to the fact of music being used when you're trying to communicate with the spirits, whether it's good or bad spirits.
Yeah.
That's definitely for sure something that I've done personally. So I know on that aspect makes me also want to watch it even more.
Right. And you know how they say the best time machine is music, it's a song. So that goes into that too.
Yes.
Like how far back you want to go or who you want to contact that has, passed over or whatever the situation in the movie is. Yeah, music is definitely almost. They say that they have like it has like certain tones, certain sounds trigger certain things too.
Frequencies.
Frequencies. There you go. Yes. That's the word. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So different frequencies could contact different spirits.
Right.
But yeah. And so knowing that they kind of the movie Sinners kind of mentions that a little bit. I'm like, damn. Okay. Like so they're spitting facts.
Yeah.
So I definitely can't wait to watch that one.
Yep. I gotta get to it.
Yeah, and then like the whole thing about music being a time machine. That's true, man. Because it's like how many times do you hear a song that reminds you of someone you ain't seen in years? Like it might have been years since you've seen them, but the song takes you there.
Yep.
The song reminds you of them. It could be a past loved one. Like for us whenever we hear Selena, it's like it reminds us, of course, of our sister. So, other people, they've experienced the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And then also it could be even like in the scenario, like a relationship, like, you might hear a song that reminds you of your ex, or your ex hears a song that reminds them of you. But yeah, so knowing that music is a huge part of the movie, like that just hella makes like all of it, the vampires, the music, and obviously like the wardrobe, the outfits and stuff.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel that it's a must see for us for sure.
No, for sure.
So it's a must see for Saca las Bolitas.
Yeah. And to add on top of that, I heard that it's a really good like eye candy for males and females. Just to point that out because everybody says, "Oh, Michael B. Jordan," but the woman, the female actress is also really, really pretty.
Yeah.
So and she's doing the little clips that I've seen of her. I'm like, oh, okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna definitely have to go check that one out
for sure.
If you guys haven't checked it out, we definitely recommend it. Like I said, we haven't seen it ourselves, but for sure, man, like it's getting good reviews and just everything that deals, especially if you're into spiritual stuff. I feel that a lot of our audience that is into spiritual stuff, they're gonna like it for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So the next topic, which one should we go next?
Let's talk about, okay, so today is Mother's Day, how we mentioned, and we had an idea of doing like a Q&A episode today, but everyone's busy, everyone's off of social media, so we're going to go ahead and just talk about ourselves a little bit and mention like our red flags, and we've already did an episode that we talked about other people's red flags, so let's put ourselves on the spot.
Yeah.
What we consider red flags.
Yeah.
And I wore a green shirt for this.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's almost 1 year that we made that episode of the red flags. Definitely, I feel that we should point some red flags on ourselves out.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right?
Yeah. So I'll let you go first.
Okay, so I feel like maybe this is gonna be like a little. Y'all tell me in the comments what you guys think. Okay, I feel like my biggest red flag is that I don't know how to date. I don't know how to date first. As most of you may know, I come from a 15-year relationship, and that's all I knew. So when I start talking to if I start dating, it's like I jump right to like wifey mode. Which I shouldn't, and that's a red flag. Like, I shouldn't be doing these things, because then they're gonna be like, "Dang, this girl's desperate," or "Dang, like she's doing too much," and it might scare them off. Yeah. So I feel like that's a huge red flag for me.
Yeah. First of all, I feel like a lot of our viewers can relate to that for sure. But I see what you mean. Mm-hmm. I can see both sides of that.
Right.
So that topic, we're actually gonna get back to that topic.
Okay. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna circle back to that one. Me, I would say the most huge red flag for me is it's hard for me to communicate. So it's hard for me to tell the person what's bothering me, and it's also hard for me to ask the other person what's bothering them. Like, a lot of times I notice that like if the person's acting kind of weird, or maybe distant, I'll notice that they're acting weird, but it's not really in me to like try to talk it out. I'll just be kind of like, my mood is always just like, okay, well, they're acting weird for a reason. I'm not gonna ask them why. Sometimes communicating and finding out what's bothering the other person, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
So I know that me not being able to do that, it's really bad, and it's always been bad for me in my past relationships and stuff like that. Because it's like me, I've always been like, if it comes down to if I have two options and my options are communicate with the person or block them, a lot of times I just block them. So yeah,
so I just spit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like, I know that that's a huge issue, and then I know that I really should change that, but it's like I'm just like, one day eventually I might change it, but yeah, I would say that's my red flag is it's hard for me to communicate for sure.
Yeah, and to add to that to myself too, I feel like it's my red flag is that I need a lot of reassurance, because if I also feel like a vibe is off, I feel like you need to tell me, like, if you're busy, or like tell me that like you're having a bad day and it's not me, it's just whatever's going on at home. So if you just have like, if I feel like, oh, this person usually texts me like at 3:00 and they're not texting me at 3:00 and it's 3:30 and I'm like looking at my phone and I'm like, okay, reassure me, give me something. But then I also feel like that's a red flag, because I shouldn't depend on my mood with the text at 3:00.
Yeah,
but that's a red flag.
Yeah, because definitely, because it's like you notice that mood change. You notice that change in the pattern. So yeah, that's definitely understandable. But see, that like in my situation, that's where I mess up, right? Because it takes a lot for me to ask the person like, "Hey, are we good?" Like me even saying that took a lot. So I feel that I should definitely work on that eventually. But it's also, again, how you said, it's like you notice the little slight differences.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they could just be busy with work, or sometimes they could just be busy with their family, like at the last minute. A friend, coworker, or their family member hit them up, the last minute, so it like threw off their normal daily routine, and it's like you only saw the part where their routine is off when it affected you.
Right. Right.
So we definitely have to like understand both sides.
Yeah.
So that's why I really want to work on changing my red flag, because I know that sometimes it's what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, like it. We can say that we're like overthinkers, and we know how to read the room. And as going back to like being water signs, we can almost see right through it, but we need that reassurance, and we need to communicate that to our partners and be like, hey, this is how I am, and it might be too much for you. If this is too much, then borrón y cuenta nueva. But as long as we communicate, but that's where we're lacking a little bit, then it's like, okay, we got this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll get there eventually. Another red flag.
Another for you? Yeah. Me. Okay. Yeah. Another red flag for me. I'm very impatient. So like, I feel like say if I make plans with someone and I'm supposed to see them, and then they're taking a little longer than normal, or they're just not longer than normal, but like they're just taking long to show up. I feel that maybe I should be a little more patient before I let that get me upset. Or say, for example, like the person running late. I feel that I need to start being more patient. Yeah, just more patient. So I understand that for myself, that's definitely one of my red flags for sure.
I don't think that's a red flag. I'm gonna just be biased because it's like, no, time. if you can't respect my time, then you're disrespecting me.
Yeah.
Like if you say you're gonna be here at a certain time and you're like 2 hours running later, or maybe if you already like communicate to me like, hey, I'm gonna be a little 15 minutes late. Hey, this is going on, but like once again, reassure me that we're still on the same page. I honestly don't think that's a red flag. Like you have to respect people's times. Because y'all know we like to be alone.
Yep.
So if we're spending our alone time and we're considering you to like hang out with, respect our damn time.
Yeah.
And like show up on time. But I mean, maybe I'm just being biased.
No, true.
You know what I mean? But because if you tell me, I'm a girl, you know, girls, and I'm sure, it's because she was curling her hair, or she was putting makeup on. But if one of my brothers or my family members are like, okay, be ready by 6, I'm ready at like 5:45 or like 5:30. And it's like, I'm ready to go because I time myself out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a red flag.
So what about you? Another red flag for yourself?
Another red flag for me is that I'm so quick to just be like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to put up with anything that I don't have to. Yeah. I'm not going to put up with anything that I... Like, if I feel like someone else has, like, your attention, by all means, knock yourself out. Yeah. Like, there's room for everybody. Yeah. And I feel like if I feel like that, it's like, oh, I'm waiting a turn. I don't even need it. Yeah. I'm okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty much the same way. That's why I feel that as soon as I start feeling like that, I'm like, okay, forget communication. Like, I don't even know why the person's acting like that. I'm just like, okay, I'm out. Yeah. So I feel that kind of ties into like, my red flag, But that definitely makes sense, because like me, same thing, it's like if I feel like same thing, like, okay, this person's acting different, or, they're not texting me, they used to text me good night every night, and then they're not texting me good night anymore, or, stuff like that. Little things like that. It's like, I have two options: either ask them, hey, what's going on? Try to work it out, or just be like, okay, well, I'm out.
Block.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is valid, but.
Yeah, and it's funny because I feel like a lot of our viewers can relate to it, like our own red flags too.
I think so.
Yeah, that's why I figured like it was a good topic to bring up.
And we're putting ourselves on the spot, because we're probably like blocking our blessings right now by saying these things. Yeah, but we're being very vulnerable because we're human. Yeah, as much as people might idolize us or like might see us as like, oh, you guys are this, but like I'm super not insecure in a sense of like, oh, I wish I was, I look like this. I'm insecure in a way of like like the reassurance thing, just going back to that. Like I need a lot of reassurance, and it's probably exhausting for like whoever I'm dealing with, but if you don't like it, then it's okay. Yeah, but see, it's good that we're able to sit here and acknowledge our own like red flags. That's why we're doing this, so that viewers out there that start recognizing like, oh shit, I got that same issue, I'll be doing the same thing. So it's like if you have moderate to severe symptoms of any of these red flags, oh man, shout out La Platica, shout out La shout out Sebas for La Platica. If you know. Yeah. Oh, that was funny. Oh man. I bit my tongue. Oh man. But yeah, if you feel that you have some of these symptoms, then you gotta look within yourself, try to fix them. That's fucking funny, dude. Hopefully you guys watch La Platica, so you guys know what the fuck we're laughing at. That's a clip right there. Shout out to Sebas from La Platica. And Josh. Yeah. Shout out to Sebas and Josh. Cheers to that. That was a good one. Oh man. That was fucking hilarious. If you know, you know. Yeah. Quote. That was a quote. That was famous quote from Sebas from La Platica. But so it's good that we're actually talking about these things, Yeah. But yeah, because I know a lot of people, they'll never admit their own red flags, Right. Let me see. Was that you that just went? Yeah. Okay. So my turn. My another red flag for me. This kind of yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I would definitely say this is a red flag. One of my red flags is that I'm a brujo.
Because I know that right now, everybody on TikTok, everybody on social media says that they're a brujo or a bruja. But seriously, because of my job and because of my products, I must admit sometimes it gets to my head a little bit. So just because I know that the spirits are like always sending me blessings, and sometimes those blessings come in form of females, right? So it's like I know that the spirits got me, you know. So sometimes that's why I rather just not communicate. I rather just end it and then I'm out, because I know like within a week the spirit's gonna send me something else, you know. So I can say that that's a red flag. Like I don't know if I would probably date a bruja, you know, like a legit real bruja. I probably wouldn't. For the same reason. Because especially if she's really connected with the spirits and the spirits really got her like that, I probably wouldn't date a bruja myself. And if I was a female, I probably wouldn't date a brujo. But I would say that's definitely one of my red flags too. I gotta admit.
You know what? Yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree, just because I'm not gonna be biased this time. It takes a lot for a woman to deal with what my brother does. But if you're up for it, by all means, he's a great guy. I mean, obviously he's, an amazing brujo, but at the same time, you got to understand that his business comes first. And maybe that's another red flag.
Yeah, that was going to be.
Which it shouldn't be.
That was going to be my next red flag.
But we'll get back to that. But I feel like I would never date anybody that does what you do.
Yeah.
I would. Shit.
Yeah, definitely. So I have to sit here and admit, for sure that is a red flag. Mm-hmm. Like, me doing what I do and like being what I am, it's definitely a red flag.
Yeah. But if you can put up with it and, understand that it's just business, then, well, not just business, because, it's a family, it's a he has obviously connections to his clients.
Yeah.
And then shout out you, homegirl, because.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now another red flag for you.
Another red flag for me is that I'm okay with being alone. Mm-hmm. I'm great. I'm content. I don't feel the need to be around my person all the time. And maybe that's a red flag. But when I am with my person, then it's amazing. But yeah, maybe just being okay with being alone.
Yeah, hold on, I gotta try to finish this Modelo.
I don't think that's a red flag though. I think that's okay. Like, people have to learn to be okay, and then they'll be even happier with company, because then you'll appreciate that I'm, spending time with whoever.
Yeah, no, that's true. I would say, yeah, that's good for you, mm-hmm. But yeah, it could definitely be a red flag for the person that you're dealing with. If you were dealing with somebody, it would be a red flag for them, because they're like, damn, okay, like she really don't need me, like she really just gonna bounce. First time we have an issue, Mm-hmm. But honestly, that's a good trait to have, just because it's like, yeah, like once you're comfortable with just yourself and being alone, it's like, dude, like, yeah,
like nothing can really faze you.
Yeah,
like, yeah, you'll miss somebody, like, yes, but it's like, I'm gonna be okay, because I've been in worse situations. Like, I'm gonna get out of this just fine.
Yeah,
that's a mi familia quote. But you know what I mean? Like, I've been in worse situations. Like, I've lost people that I freaking would die for.
Yeah.
And I'm okay. So, and it's not to make less of who you are to me or what you mean to me, but it's just no pasa nada. Like, it's all right.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and that is one of your quotes for sure. That is one of your quotes.
Back to you.
Yeah. So, my other red flag, which is the one you kind of brought up right now, that because of my business, like all my clients are females. So I could definitely see, just like my honest, my honest observation here, that I could definitely admit that is a red flag. It could be seen as a red flag. Like, obviously I'm hella professional with my clients, and like, it's just business. Like, they'll come here to get their readings and to get their velas, and it's straight professional. But I could see how it would look bad.
Oh, of course.
Because like a lot of times I say, oh, my clients are 99% female, but it's actually more like 100% female. Like, I'll have one male customer in a year. Yeah. Like, in one whole year, I'll have one dude that buys one thing for me, like a candle or something. Everybody else that whole year was all females.
Yeah.
So, and then, my business being home based, she knows this because, one, she helps me with the business, and two, she's my roommate. Mm-hmm. So she sees who picks up their candles and who comes through for readings and stuff like that. So it's like, I could see from the outside looking in, how that would be a red flag.
Yeah.
You know, so I do admit that would probably be a red flag. Like I said, I'm always hella professional, but I can see how that would be. I can see how that might hold me back. You know,
Yeah.
hold me back a little bit. You know?
Yeah. And temptation is a mother.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're dealing with someone that's a professional, you got to understand that it's professional.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go any farther than what it is. It's a transaction, and it's but not to make it just like I said earlier, it's not just like, oh, it's just a client and whatever. Like, no, there obviously has to be conversation, there has to be communication, there has to be understanding, so you kind of build a bond.
Yeah.
So you're able to supply your client with the proper needs.
Yeah.
And that could be looked up as like, oh, why are you getting to know her? Well, I have to.
Yeah.
Oh, well, why are you guys talking and texting? Because we have to. We're building. You know, this is what my business consists of, and it's not gonna stop because I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, for you.
Yeah, especially, you know, when it's like they need a candle last minute because, you know, their loved one is in the hospital.
Right.
And like, oh shit, my mom's in, you know, the hospital. Could I pick up the candle at 5 a.m? You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, and knowing him, he's gonna be like, of course, because we've been that person that has their loved ones in the hospital, and we wish we had that in those moments. So if he's able to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and he's laying with his significant other, it's like that person's gonna be like, the fuck you are.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? But yeah.
So I definitely have to point out, you know, that I can see how that would be a red flag. But real quick, speaking of our clients, so shout out to my client. She hooked us up with this new buzz ball right here, and then her friend actually hooked us up with the. I forgot to take it out the bag.
Oh shit. We started drinking. I mean, it's Mother's Day.
Yeah. So you can put it over there next to the
with the Gran Malo.
Yeah. So her homegirl hooked us up with the Gran Malo. So shout out her. And then my client hooked us up with the Buzz Ball. But we started drinking like earlier, so I forgot to mention that. I was supposed to mention that in the beginning of the episode. I know, I was like, and then right now when I remembered, I'm looking around like, oh shit, where's the Gran Malo? And I forgot to take it out the bag.
Yes, so shout out homegirl about this for Mother's Day for me. So, well, for us. So yeah.
Yeah. But so you know, thank you ladies for you know, hooking us up with those.
Yes.
But so let me see. So so that was me. So do you have another red flag?
I think this could be seen as a red flag, especially if you're dating somebody that like is a homebody and it's like just likes to work and go home. I like to go out of town. Mm-hmm. I will get in my car with my kids and go to LA. Go to another city just for the heck of it, like really last minute. And I like the idea of not having to like say anything.
Yeah.
You know, just getting up and going. But of course, it's like if you're in a relationship, like you have to communicate.
Yeah.
Like, hey, is it okay if I go, or you know, whatever. So that's my thing. It's like they're gonna be like, why do you gotta go all the way over there if you know we have this here, or why are you going to LA for the weekend if I'm here? You know, so that could be a red flag, I guess.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, there's Vallarta at the house,
right? For real, you know. So it's like people are not gonna understand, but it's like, this is who I became after that 15-year relationship that I mentioned earlier. Yeah. You know, I was in the house. I was, you know, in wifey mode. So it's like now that I have all the freedom in the world, I'm going to go out and with my kids, you know, or with my brothers. And it's like, I can't I can transition from that to like that, but it's going to take a minute, you know, and that could be a red flag. And that could be like I'm good, you know, which is A-okay.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that one too. Because, for example, like we always talk about this on the pod, like we never really go outside, but when we do, it's out of town, right? Like we talked about that all the time. Like me, you won't really catch me at the club. You won't really catch me at the baile, at the, you know, jaripeo. You won't really, unless it's out of town.
Right.
So that could be seen as a red flag. I mean, obviously, you know, it's like if your person lives here in the same town as you and they want to go somewhere, then it's different, you know?
Right.
But it's like, if you're just, you know, someone single and you're just like, you know, your places of choice are out of town, then somebody new coming in could see that as a red flag.
Right. And especially like here where we're from, it's like everybody's connected to everybody. Yeah. And it's like, Sac is way too small to be kicking it out here.
Yeah. Put it like this. If you know anyone in Sac, any Latinos in Sac, Latinas in Sac, guaranteed, you know somebody who's gotten a reading from me at some point. Guaranteed. right? We're just talking about that the other day. Or it has got some candles for me,
which we love it.
We love it. Yeah, we're grateful. We're grateful for that.
Super connected.
Yeah, but it's like that's how small SAC is. That is like if you know any Latinos in SAC, they either got a reading or vela or limpia or some kind of products.
Something.
Yeah. Then okay, so another one for me. This one's actually kind of obvious. If you're watching us right now on the pod, if you're watching this on YouTube, you could already see. I would say probably my tattoos. I could see how they would kind of be a red flag for somebody who was just meeting me for the first time and like they're like, damn, I gotta introduce this food to my parents. Like, what the fuck, you know? So I could see that. Tattoos are becoming more common, but I could see how. But just by someone looking at me without meeting me, I could see how that would be a red flag.
Automatically, especially from like a Hispanic Latino household, a Mexican household, they're gonna look at him like, literally el cucuy. You know what I mean? Exactly, so it's like he got a whole goat on the top of his head. He got kissed lips on his face. Like, whose lips are those? We're not gonna say it. Stuff. Just kidding. But you know what I'm saying? Like, people are gonna look at him. He's like a walking red flag. Yeah,
exactly, man. I'm a fucking walking Chipotle bag and shit.
Shoot. No, seriously. So that I get that.
Yeah, I could already hear somebody saying, "Oh man, my old school Mexican parents are gonna think, oh, that's the pinche pizarrón." Like, what the fuck?
For real. No, yeah, I think that's very noticeable, and you can't hide it. But that's you.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know what pizarrón means, it's a chalkboard in Spanish. So like like the old school chalkboards, they would just have hella writings all over.
Yeah.
So that's what a pizarrón is. Let me see. So I would say that's definitely a huge red flag.
Yeah.
What about you?
I feel like another red flag of mine is that I'm gonna put this on blast right now because not a lot of people are gonna understand it. Is my group chat?
Oh yeah.
That could be a huge red flag to someone from the outside looking in. So I have this chat that we build online and. Look at ¿cómo se dice? Like what you understand doesn't need to be explained, right? Yeah. But I feel like I would need to explain this to my future person that we have a group of friends and we all share location, we all talk to each other. There's guys and girls, but that's all it is.
Yeah.
And we're so close knit, and we every morning buenos dias, buenas noches, every single day checking in. Checking our mental health, putting up new songs. So, but it's like from the outside looking in, you're gonna be like, no, well, I can't fuck with that, which is understandable. But if nowadays, a lot of people, I don't know if you've heard like the newer generation talking about like, oh, hey chat, what do you guys think about this? Or it's because a lot of people are starting to have those little chats.
Yeah.
From teenagers to like adults, and I think it's pretty amazing, but it's kind of hard to let your your significant other understand, like, you can be a part of this, but you gotta accept it.
Yeah. No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's valid. Me, like I already know I'm cool with the chat. I know them and everything. But I can see how that would be a red flag for someone from the outside looking in. Like somebody new, you just met them, and then you start explaining to them, and they're like, oh, what the hell, like. So I could definitely see how that would be a red flag. Yeah,
because it's like, say I'm with my partner and I'm like, oh, look, my friend Charlie's at, Bevmo.
Yeah.
He's not 21. And he's like, how do you know where the hell Charlie's at? Yeah. It's like, oh, it's because we all share location. And it's going to be like, for what? For why? But it's like nosotros tenemos un entendimiento, and that's just what it is. But it's hard to explain, you know?
Yeah, definitely. But shout out to group chat. We love you guys. We always appreciate you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I would say another. Wait, were you done with that?
Yeah.
Me, I would say first. Let me say, sorry guys that I keep burping is because we've been drinking beer. So you guys already know, man. Whenever we drink beer, especially me, I'm just like burping every 2 seconds. But so me, I would say another red flag for me is that I don't like to brag. And I'm not trying to sound all, hella weird, but that when I get recognized in public sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So pretty much like because of my business. So even before we did the podcast, I had my main business, right? if you guys, those of you who know, then you know already. So I would go to like Starbucks or Sam's Club or like Walmart or Target.
Planet Fitness.
Yeah, Planet Fitness at the gym. Yeah, so like people were just like, "Hey, are you that Turo guy from the IG or TikTok or whatever?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, hey, what's up?" So there's been times where like I'm with like a female friend, and then I get recognized in public like that, or they'll mention my tattoos and stuff, and like I could see from her point of view, like from a female's point of view, that they could be like, "Oh, okay, like why does everybody know this fool?" Or like, "Oh, how come?" I could see how they'd be like, "Oh no, he's getting way too much attention. Like I should be getting that attention." You know what I mean? Like something like that. Which I actually want to make a video talking about like little scenarios where I got recognized, whether it was my tattoos or my them knowing me from social media.
Yeah.
But I could see how that would be a red flag.
Right.
Like somebody meeting me and then hanging out with me the first time, I could see how that would be a red flag.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, for sure. And I feel piggybacking on that one, if whoever I'm talking to knows that my brother does this for business, that's a huge red flag.
Yeah,
too.
I was kind of waiting for you to mention that one because I was gonna mention that. If you didn't mention that, I was gonna mention that too.
No, yeah, because I mean, what the
Yeah.
And I had one incident. I'm gonna just put this person on blast. I'm not gonna say the name, but this one person that I had tried to talk to, glad I didn't though, was like, we stopped talking because I was told that your brother does brujeria, and I'm like, well, you was told right.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do that to you. Yeah. Out of all people, I would be doing to William Levy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. But that could be considered a red flag for me. Yeah. That this is what your business is, and I help you with it, and but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. That I could see how that would be a red flag for like a fool meeting you, and then they find out what my business is, and they're like, "Oh, ish, okay." Like,
wait a minute.
Yeah. Especially if they start having all kinds of, we're not gonna get into it too much, but yeah, you know what I'm saying,
No, yeah, and it's understandable, which is se respeta. I respect it. If you can't mess with it, it is what it is. Yeah,
true. Mm-hmm. Or if they're like super religious, if they're super religious, and then like they'll meet you, like me, me too. That's a red flag for both of us.
Yeah.
So like if I meet someone and they're super religious. And then they find out what I do, it's a wrap. They're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, like
it's done."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And not that it's like we respect everybody's beliefs, but it's like we also understand ours.
Yeah.
So if we just can't coexist when it comes onto that, then why even entertain it?
Yeah. True. Mm-hmm. True. Man, I had another good one right now, but it hella slipped my mind right now because we started talking about that one.
Damn it.
Oh, fuck. But let me see. Getting recognized, public figure.
Oh, another red flag that we have a freaking podcast.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, that too.
Because I mean, we're talking from experience.
Yeah.
We're gonna put ourselves all out there. We're gonna take time to come up with this and record this and edit this. So he's gonna be busy. I just show up, but for him, that could be a red flag.
Yeah. Yeah, and for both of us, this could be a red flag because a lot of people don't understand that when we get on here, we have to say funny things to be entertaining.
Exactly.
So a lot of people will never understand that. Mm-hmm. So it's like we get on here, we say jokes because we literally have to every week we're gonna record, or we try to record every week. So we have to come up, okay, what are we gonna say this time? Oh, what are we gonna come up with this time? So it's like we don't want to come up with the same boring topics. So we have to say funny stuff and entertaining stuff. But if like somebody meets you or whatever, or meets me or whatever for the first time, and then they see what we're saying on here is going to be an issue. But it's like, dude, like whatever we say on here, it's entertainment. Entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment. It's never been that deep. But, ask us questions, in person. Well, we have nothing to... Well, clearly, we have nothing to hide. We're putting ourselves on blast,
Exactly, yeah.
But it is for entertainment purposes, and a lot of these things are pre-recorded.
Yeah.
So if you see something... and you have a question about it, ask us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But dang it, one just slipped away too.
Yeah, I know.
That's a red flag of me. I can't remember anything.
Yeah.
Like I have a horrible memory.
See, me, for the most part, I have a good memory, but when I'm sipping, I can't remember ish.
No, I mean another red flag too is that I feel like my sense of humor can be a little too much, and people might not understand it.
Yeah.
So I have a really dark sense of humor, and I make like jokes off of like dumb stuff, and that could be a little annoying, I guess. So
same.
Yeah. Same. We'll make jokes, and then we'll like read the room like, okay, this is not the place to do it.
Yeah, that might have been a little too much. Do you have any more red flags? I know I had one. It kind of slipped my mind. But I figure, okay, by the time we could talk about the other topics, and then I might remember the other one. Okay, so dating after a long-term relationship or marriage. For example, what I mean by that is a person dating after they were married or in a relationship for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 40 years, whatever it is. And how we kind of feel about that, and how, you know, from our experiences, or even just from people that we know. Okay, so I'll let you go first.
Yeah, so this was my first red flag that I mentioned, is that I don't know how to date, because I'm so used to something, and like that's just who I am as an individual. Meaning, I want to cook, I want to wash your clothes as like I don't even want to sound like that. Oh, a pick me, like you know, but this whole social media thing that's saying that it's like a general, but that's like how I am. I like to take care of people. I like to feel like I'm needed. I don't like when I see guys cooking for themselves, or like, I'm like, oh, here, let me do it for you. I'll fix you a plate, or I'll do this. That's just how I am in general, with my brothers, with my stepdad, with my mom, with my kids, with anybody.
Yeah.
And you know, to a lot of people, they might see that as like, oh no, that's a red flag. She's like doing wifey stuff. Like, does she, you know, it's like, it's too quick, too much, too fast, too early. And it's like, but can you blame me? Like, I was in a relationship for 15 years. Like, this is what I was accustomed to. This is what I did on the daily basis. This is what I was. This is who I am. And it's like, it's a natural instinct for me to want to feel like this is long term. Yeah. And that's just how I am. Yeah. But a lot of people might look at it like, yeah, no, you're doing way too much. Don't do the, you know, you don't even have a title yet, and you're like doing the freaking most. But if it's just in me, then I'm just gonna do what I do.
Yeah. So pretty much, like, do you sometimes feel like people would, you know, judge you or talk mess about it because of how you're so used to that? Yeah. That when you start doing it for someone, just because, you know, it's like just you're so used to it, so you just feel como que people are like judging you, or like even if they don't say anything, you feel like they're judging you. Yeah, I feel like you know, like if I have my homegirls and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm talking to this guy and I'm gonna go take him lunch today, and it's like, girl, like that's not even your man. Like, what are you doing? Or like, you know, I'm being judged, but it's just like, you know, I want to do that. Yeah, you know, and it's like it's in me to do that, and then I feel like if I don't do it, then it's just like I'm not being true to myself, or. Or maybe the guy is like, oh, look at her, like she's quick to do that. I don't even got to put a title on it. Yeah, you know, she's gonna do it regardless, and then that could be a bad thing. Yeah, you know, so it's like I don't know how to date, so that's why it's a red flag. Is that I don't know what I'm doing. I see what you mean. Me from the other side of it. Because I ain't never been in a long-term marriage or relationship. Like I like the long-term for me is like 15 days, right? So like so it's like I never really been in that. However, I am a lot older, so a lot of times I'll meet females that were in a 10, 15, 20-year relationship, marriage, whatever, and then so I'm meeting them when they come out of that, you know. So because I'm older, it works out in my favor, because I'm like, okay, like this, you know, like the whole cooking and everything. I'm like, okay, you know, I see my sister cook, even our other sister, I would see her cook. You know, I just see them, you know, doing certain things that now, if you literally log into TikTok for 5 minutes, every female on TikTok is condemning all these things. They're like, oh, you cook, oh, you dumb, or, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. So it's like I grew up seeing my two sisters cook, and you know, nobody told them to cook; they just wanted to cook. So, you know, so me at my age now is when I ended up with a female who was in a long-term relationship after 20 years, and she cooks and she cleans and she does all these, you know, wifey things. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, that's hella cool, because I could tell that she's old school. Yeah. I could tell that they were in that long-term relationship, that they were in that wifey mode for so many years, because they want to cook for me, because they want to treat me to like, oh, hey, I made fresas con crema, and, you know, here I just made them out of nowhere, just boom, boom. I just want to, make some for you today or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's like, for me, I feel that that's a cool thing because it's like, but then you have to remember I'm older,
right?
So it's like I feel like at where I'm at, it's like if they were in that long term relationship, I wouldn't mind it, but I can see like some fool who's younger, or even just just people who are younger not really understanding that,
right? And it goes to it's also to the other side where it's like, as much as, like I said, going back to not knowing how to date, like if something were to be wrong with like, oh, I need an oil change or I need my tires flat on the side of the road. Can I call this person that I'm talking to or dating to help me with that? Yeah. Because it's that I would have done that in my previous relationship. I would have done that in the, in the old school mentality of like, and not even old school, but it's just, that's what I would want to happen. I would want to call you and be like, hey, I'm on the side of the road. My tire's flat. Can you come help me? I'm on my way. Yeah. It's not like, don't you have insurance? Can't you call AAA? Yeah. Don't you have brothers? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that right there. Like that's, but that's maybe a red flag, maybe a green flag. I don't know what it is, but it sucks that that's after so many years that's what I'm used to. And I'm either damned if I do or damned if I don't.
Crazy. No, seriously, that's true because nowadays you don't even like. You don't even want to call it a red flag or a green flag.
Right. It's like we're in limbo. Like, can I? Yeah. Do I not? Yeah. But eventually we'll find our people that understand where we're coming from. Yeah. And we haven't totally gave up on this whole love thing, but. It sucks. It freaking sucks.
Yeah, dude. Look, like it's like cancel culture is so crazy right now that I've literally had females ask me like, "Hey, what's your favorite meal?" And I'll literally be like, "Oh, a cup of noodles." You know what I'm saying? Just because I don't even want to insinuate the fact that I'm expecting them to cook. Yeah. Just because of how TikTok has everybody trained of. Oh, if he asks you to cook, he hates women. It's like, what the F? Like, yeah.
It's like, don't you want a home? But if you don't want to do that, that's okay too. You'll find your people, know? But it's like, because you don't, and that's what society is telling you that you shouldn't do these wifey things because you don't have a title yet. Yeah. You're entitled to that. But don't condemn the people that do want to do that.
It's funny. I'm just waiting for a bitch to ask me if I could build a house. Oh. I'm just waiting for a bitch to be like, can you build a house? Bitch.
Ask me again.
Yeah.
Watch episode 2.
I'm gonna insert a picture right here. I'm gonna insert video, picture. Can I paint the ceiling? Yes, I can. No ladder needed. but nobody asked me that yet. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I this is kind of a side note to that. How I said nobody's ever asked me that yet, right? I feel that people only ask that to the ones that they know they can. Right. For example, if a fool asks a girl, "Can you cook?" I'm pretty sure he already has an idea that she can't really cook. If a girl asks that a guy, "Hey, can you build a house?" I'm pretty sure she could already tell that he can't build a house and he probably even got a job. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't ask you, "Can you cook?" or "Can you build a house?" it's probably a good sign. You know what I'm saying? Because I built the studio that we're in right now. I built it myself.
Yeah. So it's like, and these are qualities that are within us that we don't have to put up front, that we don't have to be like, "Hey, look what I can do." But it's like, go ahead and ask us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all right.
Yeah. And keep in mind, guys, the only reason we're bringing these topics up is because we know that our followers and viewers deal with this stuff every day.
Every day.
Because if you don't believe us, just log into TikTok for 5 minutes. I'm sure you'll come across one of those videos, right? So that's why we're like, you know what? Let's talk about this topic because a lot of my followers, a lot of our viewers, or a lot of people that we know are dealing with it. So we're like, you know what? We should give our perspective on it.
Yeah. And you know what? I didn't tell him I was going to do this. There's this woman that I follow. Her name is Better with K. Mm-hmm. She has her kitchen pink with like Hello Kitty, and her husband lets her stay home. She doesn't have any kids. She has 2 puppies. She started doing content. And her whole thing was of like the pink kitchen and the pink, silk, pots and pans, and it went from like, "Oh, look, eres una mantenida." Like, "Oh, look, you don't have kids. Go get a job. Why are you cooking for him? You're not even married yet." And it's like, dude, like, really? Like, let her do her content. Like, it's okay to cook for your man. It's okay to not have the ring. It's okay. Yeah. It's fine. And it's like, I see her and I follow her, and I love that now she's like, you know, doing her content so much, so she got so much traction that she just bought her new house.
Dang.
Off of like, you know, social media. And it's like, that's beautiful, because you see Beezy's getting famous like Ashley freaking Trevino for being, you know what I mean, whatever she does.
Yeah.
But then you see, you know, Better with Kay, and then you're like, oh, she cooks and cleans. Why is she being famous?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean? She actually has skills. She's not eating hot Cheetos and bean dip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just what I'm kind of comparing of like, you know, the people that are the this is what I want to be, or this is what I want to be, like mil veces Better with Kay.
Yeah, that really is skills, man, because I don't know how to cook. I'll admit that right now. I do not know how to cook other than like scrambled eggs and a cup of noodles. But, you know, so when I see, for example, again, my sister cooking, I'm like, man, I don't know how the hell she made all that. You know, so it really is skills, you know, so that's tight that she's, you know, going on there and she's okay, what could I do? She knows how to cook. Boom, go on there, make videos of cooking.
Yep. And it's like they were saying in her comments, like, oh, eres una mantenida. Like, oh, you know, you don't work. People usually do that when they have kids, you know, go work. She uploaded, she's working, she's doing content. And look at her. She was able to help her husband buy themselves a house.
Yeah. Everybody has different talents.
Yeah.
For example, I can't make food, but I made this motherfucker right here. I made him.
I can't do that.
I made him right here. I made this whole studio that we're in right now. I'm gonna try to insert sometimes I'd be wanting to insert a picture of the outside so people can see how it looks, but then I also don't want people to know where we record. So, but I might just do it anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, it's like whatever your talent is, man. Everybody's different, you know.
Yeah.
You know, whoever needs to hear this message, everybody's different. You know, you have a talent. There's I heard somebody talking about some show called Tiene Talento, Mucho Talento. I don't even know what it's about, but I heard the word talento.
Yeah.
So just, you know, keep that in mind. You know, like whatever it is you're good at, somebody might not be good at that, and they want to learn how to do that. So like people are always asking me like, hey, can you make videos of like how you made like the little Mr. E? I'm like, hell no, I ain't gonna show you how I made them. But I might make other videos, you know, like showing you how to crochet.
Right.
But yeah, you know, so that's pretty tight. That's pretty tight that she does that.
Yeah, and I hope I'm getting her username right. It's Better with Kay. She's a Latina creator, and she's awesome.
Yeah, after like when I'm editing, we'll look it up and then send me the you know the correct spelling below, and I'll tag her.
Yeah, and he's seen like when I started getting like my little kitchen stuff here at the house, it was pink, the pink comal, the pink this, and the pink that, and I got inspired off of her page. Yeah,
it was almost like this shade of pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the comal and everything. Yeah. Oh, and our logo for Saca las Bolitas is also pink. It's like a different shade of pink, but it's pink. Yeah. Okay. So, any more? I know we had more stuff to say about that one, but do you have anything else to say about that one?
I can't even remember.
I know me too. Dude, guys, we've been drinking, and we hella ate earlier. We had the kind of stuff going. So one thing I would say, for example, this is just playing devil's advocate real quick. So, somebody who came out of a 10, 15 year, 20 year relationship or marriage, there is a possibility that you might end up doing those things for the wrong person.
Yeah.
So just always keep that in mind. For example, from a guy's point of view, right? If a guy came out of a 20 year marriage and he's always used to cashing out for his wife, he might get out that marriage and start cashing out for BZs that ain't his girl and that he ain't, doing anything with, right? So that might be bad for the guy point of view. For a female point of view, same thing. She might just be used to, again, cooking from every day or having to clean home for him every day. And it's like she might be doing it for the wrong one. So, just be kind of cautious on who you do it for. It's not like you doing those things and you having those skills. That's not the bad part. It's just be careful on who you do it for.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you're on the other end, it's like, if this isn't the person for you, don't let her keep doing that.
Yeah.
Just tell her, like, communicate.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
And then you give her the power of choice. Either she fuck with it or she doesn't.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So
true.
But, if you're a person that is like me, and likes to do these things like naturally.
Yeah.
Don't feel like it's a desperate move and don't feel like you're doing too much. Be true to yourself, and that's just someone's gonna catch your vibe, someone's gonna catch you, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, and from a guy point of view, for the ladies that do stuff like that, just know that you're the rare ones right now. Especially since TikTok is here canceling BZs for just cooking. They're just in their kitchen cooking and they're getting canceled.
Literally, for their husband.
She ain't even left the house and she's getting canceled. So just know that you're the rare ones, you know?
Yeah.
So let me see. So the next topic. Oh, I'm excited about this one.
Go ahead, talk your shit.
So next, even he's excited about this one.
Take me with you.
Yo, he wants me to take me with him. He's gonna go with me for sure. So next weekend, if everything goes smooth, I'm gonna be in LA and I'm gonna be recording another podcast episode out there. We're actually, yeah. So I don't want to say too much about it, but just know that there might be a twerk out contest, there might be a wet t-shirt contest, there might be a freaking who can sit on the Brujo's face the most contest. I'm just saying. But
no, he's not.
But we're gonna have hopefully a pretty good episode. If everything goes smooth, it should be by next weekend. And then after that, I might be in Oakland, filming an episode out there actually. So we have, we have a lot of good episodes coming up for you guys. And a lot of cool guests, you know?
Yeah.
So shout out our next guest. I don't want to say specific which guests are going to be on here within the next few episodes, but we have a lot of good content for you guys coming up.
Yeah, tune in. You guys are going to be so excited.
Yeah.
I won't be there this time.
Yeah.
And, I won't be there, but I mean, be clapping from all the way from Sacramento.
Yeah, because what happened was we were both trying to go out there by this month, by May. We're still in May, but she couldn't make it this time, but I could go out there this time. So we're like, you know what? I'll just go out there this time and come back, you know?
Yeah.
Just for the weekend. But like I said, shout out to our, to the last episode, our guest Jeanette from last episode. And then, shout out to our guest from the next episode out when I'm in LA next weekend.
Yeah.
And then shout out to our guests in Oakland. Like I said, I don't want to say names yet, but, Cause what if things get delayed, right? But
and shout out to Bay. We always show love to LA, but shout out to Bay and shout out to Narcy and Whitney.
Yeah. Shout out Narcy, shout out Whitney. That's true. That's what I said on the San Jose episode. Yeah. We always shout out LA just because we're always back and forth to LA.
Yeah.
But we get so much love from the Bay Area, man, from Oakland, San Jose, fucking San Leandro, San Francisco. We get hella Salinas. We get hella love from the Bay. We
Brentwood.
Brentwood. We definitely love you guys, man. We love you guys. We appreciate each and every one of you for sure, for sure. Let me see. Yeah, but so anything else?
If anybody in LA wants to be on the podcast, hit him up. If it's not this weekend coming up, then we can book something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So real quick, so I was trying to actually book two episodes. Pero my client that was gonna do Sunday, she ended up being kind of busy, but we're still gonna do the one. But yeah, anybody else that wants to get on, message me and then we'll schedule it, because the goal is to do at least 2 or 3 episodes every time I'm out there. Yeah. So we could do one on a Saturday and then on a Sunday and then I'll come back Monday.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So let us know, and then any last words? Any last words?
Cheers. Happy Mother's Day.
Cheers. Happy Mother's Day. We got the VMCs on deck. I didn't want to drink this one because it's going to get freaking chamoy all over my face and shit. But I was drinking the Modelos. That's why I kept burping. Fuck, just like right now. So we apologize to you guys, man, for hella burping down here. But we appreciate you guys. Can't wait to be out in LA next weekend. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one. Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. All right, guys. If our brother was here, he would say love, peace, and chicken grease.
Saca las bolitas episode
Episode 33.